Think about the last time you said something that you immediately wished you could take back. A word to someone you love, a response in a moment of anger, a decision made when you were overwhelmed, and the moment it left your mouth, something inside you already knew. That was wrong. But it was too late. The damage was done, and you told yourself, that is just how I am. I cannot help how I react. They pushed me to it. But none of those things are true, and believing them has been costing you more than you realize. Here's something that nobody ever explained to you. Between what happens to you and what you do next, there's a space. Not a long space, not a dramatic pause, not a deep breath you have to plan for. Just a moment, a fraction of a second, almost invisible. But that space, that tiny, barely noticeable space, is where your entire life is decided. Every relationship you have ever damaged was damaged in that space. Every opportunity you have ever lost was lost in that space. Every version of yourself you're not proud of showed up in that space. And the most important thing, nobody ever told you that a space exists or that you have power over it. Let me show you what I mean. Something happens. Someone said something that shrinks. Something goes wrong. You feel threatened or disrespected or overwhelmed. And before your conscious mind can even register what happened, your body has already fired. Anger, tension, heat rising in your chest. And in that state, your brain does something very specific. It narrows. It stops seeing the full picture. It stops thinking about consequences. It stops caring about the relationship or the outcome or the person in front of you. It only sees the threat, the discomfort, the thing that needs to be dealt with right now. And from that narrowed state, you react. Not from your values, not from your intentions, not from the man you actually want to be, but from fear, from pain, from the most automatic part of you that has no idea what it is doing or what it is about to cost you. And the cost is always higher than it feels in the moment. The harsh word to your partner that she never fully forgets. The decision made in frustration that changed the direction of something important. The bridge you burned with someone who mattered. The version of yourself you showed in a moment of pressure that became how shortened people see you forever. Reactive men are not bad men. They're just men who never learned that they had a choice in that space. Who never learned that the automatic response is not the only response. Who never learned that what happens to you does not have to determine what you do next. And here's what changes everything. The space between what happens and what you do next can be expanded. Not dramatically, not through years of therapy or meditation or discipline, but through one simple, deeply powerful, almost embarrassingly obvious practice. Noticing, just noticing. The next time something happens and you feel that familiar heat rising, that tightening in your chest, that narrowing of your vision, just notice it. Name it. Something is happening in my body right now. That simple act of noticing creates this space. Because the moment you notice what is happening, you're no longer inside it. You're watching it. And a man who can watch his own reaction rather than being swallowed by it is a man who has a choice. And here's what that choice actually means. A man who responds rather than reacts is not a passive man, is not a weak man, is not a man who swallows everything. He's a man who's powerful enough to pause, powerful enough to choose, powerful enough to decide what kind of man he wants to be in this specific moment, with this specific person, about this specific thing. That is not softness. That is the hardest thing a man can do. Because reacting is easy. Reacting requires nothing. Reacting is just the automatic version of you, running an old programming without your permission. But responding requires everything. It requires you to feel the heat and stay present anyway. To feel the discomfort and choose your next word carefully. To feel the anger and decide what it is worth before you spend it. That is not weakness. That is the most complete form of self-mastery that a man can ever develop. The relationships in your life, the opportunities, the version of yourself you most want to be, none of them are waiting for you to be perfect. None of them require you to never feel anger or pain or frustration or fear. They just require you to find the space, that 1 second between what happens and what you do next. Because in that 1 second is the difference between the man you're when nobody's watching you and the man you're when everything is on the line. And the man who can find that space consistently, quietly, without needing anyone to notice, is the man whose relationships deepen, whose opportunities expand, whose life slowly, undeniably becomes something he's genuinely proud of. Not because he never reacted, but because he learned to choose. And that choice changes everything.